Hi everybody, in today's AI Amazing Teacher Tools, we're going to talk about Diffit. But before we get into Diffit, I just want to go back and remind you of two things that we talked about in the introductory video. The first thing is that we are going to spend about 10 minutes going through Diffit, and then I'd really love for you to, using this Google form linked here in the slide deck, if you could submit your idea, what you think you might use Diffit for in your classroom with your students, whatever your grade level or your subject area. Then you're going to have 15 to 20 minutes to play with the tool, and then once you've played with it, I'd love to take what you create and drop it into this shared folder where all the folks who take part in this PD will be able to take a look at what you've created, and hopefully we can share ideas across grade levels and subject area. The other big thing I want to remind you of is that we never want to put ever student identifiable information into the prompt for any AI tool, including Diffit, and that Diffit will do about 80% of the work for us, but we still need to spend some time, about 20% of what we used to spend, to make sure that what AI created for us is actually as complete, as error-free, as free from bias as we can possibly get, so human brains always get the last say. So, without any further ado, I'd like to take you to Diffit. Up here on the top left-hand side of the slide deck, if you click on Diffit, it will bring you to the place where you go to either create a free account or sign in. I already have an account, so I'm going to click sign in. You would click create free account unless you've played with this before, and you can use your school Google login to create the account. So once you're in, it will take you to the home page, and the home page is very simple. You basically have 3 tabs at the very top, right here, Start New, My Resources and Activities, and 4 tabs in the middle. Literally anything, articles, YouTube, text, PDF, or vocab list. Gonna have you check out the top first. The Start New button, this is the Start New page. So every time you're starting a new creation session, you're gonna click Start New, and it basically wipes the slate clean, and you can start from new. The My Resources tab is where everything that you create will be housed. It saves it for you. So here's my long list of resources that I've been creating as I've played with Diffit in preparation for today and tried to use it for some of the students that I teach as well. Then, in the activities section, I would highly encourage you to check this out first before you start creating anything, because here you will see literally hundreds of student resources that Diffit can create for you. If you look across this scroll bar here, these are the varying skills that you may want your students to work on, and within each set of skills there are a multitude of resources, tons of resources. So if I scroll down here, with critical thinking being the focus, here are some flowcharts, brace maps, but as you scroll down, I won't read them all to you, but you can kind of check it out and see that there is a lot that can be done in order to encourage your students to think critically about the article or the video or whatever it is that you're having them engage in your lesson that day. So with literally hundreds of activities to choose from, I definitely encourage you to think about which skill set you want your students to learn and to think about how you might utilize these strategies. You know, there's almost so much information that you want to try and narrow it down ahead of time. So I'm going to start new and show you what I mean by that. So the Literally Anything tab, I'm going to skip this for this little tutorial here, but try typing in, when you get in there, literally anything, and see what kind of resources are generated for you. It's a great starting point for a lesson if you wanted to start a piece on genetics, which we'll talk about later. You can just say, 8th grade genetics lesson, and it'll give you some information on how to start that genetics lesson. But for our purposes today, we're going to focus on these 4 things: the vocab list, an article link, text excerpt, and a YouTube video. So the vocab list is a little unique from all of the other things. So I'm going to start with the vocab list, and here I have linked a genetics vocab list. So I'm going to copy this list of 10 terms, Control C to copy it, oops, I got to be in the vocab list tab, Control V to paste it. Unfortunately, it only allows us to enter 10 vocabulary words at most. So if you have 20, you just do this twice. But I have 10 here, and then you can customize your resources by grade level and by language. So because this is an 8th grade unit in our building, I'm going to say 8th grade, and then I'll just show you the long list of languages that these resources may be translated into. It's long. So if you have a student who is working on English, this might be a great resource for your student. So you choose your reading level, choose your language, click Generate Resource, and it takes just a minute for those resources to generate, so I'm going to hit pause and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So it generated a list of resources for us here, 8th grade level. You can still translate if you wanted to print the English version and then translate it into another language. You can print the English version and then decide what you want translated into whichever language you think is or that you need for a student in your classroom. And as I scroll down here, you'll see the resources that were generated. So first of all, it took those 10 vocabulary words and it created a reading passage that incorporated those 10 vocabulary words in a way for students to use context clues to attempt to define those vocabulary words. Then it summarizes that passage in 3 bullet points, which it will do for just about anything that we copy and paste into Diffit, whether it's a vocab list, an article link, a YouTube video, whatever we put in there, it tends to give us a 3-bullet summary, and it pulls out the key vocabulary words. Now in this case, we gave it the key vocabulary words. With other, for example, with an article or with a YouTube link, it'll pull out the key vocabulary words, which oftentimes tend to be tier 2 or tier 3 words for students who are learning English. Then it offers a couple of multiple choice questions, which you can add more and you can show the answers. It offers a couple of short answer questions. Again, you can add more or show the answers. And then it offers some open-ended prompts. The other thing that it does at the very bottom, and this is the case for anything you put into Diffit, is if you click this Get Student Activities button, it will bring you back to this page where you have the hundreds of student resources to choose from. And you can decide how you want to send this this work to your students. So if I chose Hexagonal Thinking Workbook, it's going to give us a handout and several other resources that go along with a handout. You can export the activity with the premium version, which is free for a short period of time. You can export the activity to your Google Drive, and in Google Drive, you can manipulate the activity, change it, add things, delete things, however you want to adjust what they generate for you, and then print it and send it out to your students. It's going to take a minute for it to send it to Google Drive, so I'm going to pause, and then I'll be back in a sec. All right, I'm back. So here's what you get. You can choose with the premium version whether you want to open it in slides, share it to Classroom, download the PDF, or download it as a PowerPoint. Once the premium free view expires, you will only have the option of downloading it as a PDF, which doesn't make it easy to change. So for now, I'm going to show you what it looks like in slides so you can see what it's like to change. And then later on down the line, you can see what it's like to export as a PDF as you play with it. So this slide deck, as you notice, looks a little different than the typical Google Slides slide deck. It's changed the layout of the slide, so it's more of an 8.5 by 11 handout orientation rather than the typical landscape orientation of a Google slide. Here are the directions for teachers. Here is the worksheet to print for students, and here's some additional read and take notes information for students. So if you like this, you could just hit print or share it, copy this link and share it in Canvas. Students can create copies for themselves and complete these assignments digitally. Or you can decide, all right, I only like this one hexagonal thinking worksheet. You can just print that one slide and hand it out to students and they can complete it with pen and pencil. So that is the gist of Diffit. I'll show you a couple other things real quickly here. For example, an article link. This article is an article from UNESCO, who recently published some AI guidelines for teachers, students, and has done a tremendous amount of research on AI in public education across the world. So this article summarizes some of their research. I'm going to copy and paste this link into a new Diffit. So I'm going to click Start New. It's going to clear everything out. And then I'm going to choose Article or YouTube link. And I'm going to paste this article link here. Now I could choose to preserve the original text, meaning it'll just take the exact text from the article and put it into a resource for your students, or I can customize it for a specific reading level. So I'm going to take this and customize it for a 6th grade reading level. Again, leaving it in English, knowing I could translate it into a multitude of languages. All right, and then I'm going to click Generate Resources. Again, it may take a minute, so I'm going to pause. All right, there we go. So it takes about 20-30 seconds for it to generate the resources. Here you see the title of the article. This photo is right out of the link to the article. This is the photo from the website. But if you don't like this photo, if you hover over it, you can see that it has other Google images that you could choose to add if you wanted to create a handout for your students with an image on it. Then if you scroll down, this is the adapted reading passage. Adapted meaning it has now been changed for a 6th grade reading level. And again, it creates the 3-bullet summary. It pulls out the key vocabulary words, which would be those tier 2 and tier 3 words. It offers you 3 multiple choice questions with the option to add more and show the answers. It offers you 3 short answer questions with the options of adding more and showing the answers. And it offers you these open-ended prompts. And just like the first activity that we did with vocab, if you click on Get Student Activities, it will bring you to this page again where you choose what makes the most sense for your particular lesson. So if I wanted writing strategies for this particular lesson, answer, cite, and explain, I could choose this, and then it would say, all right, here are your resources for your students. You could export the activity to Google Slides, and then when you have the premium version, then when that runs out, you could just export it as a PDF and either link it or to your Canvas or print it and hand it out to your students. Starting to notice a trend here. It's the same type of thing for excerpts from text and YouTube videos, so I'll show you those very quickly. The excerpt from text, this is an excerpt from the book One Crazy Summer by Rita Williams Garcia, which is on the reading list for our new ELA curriculum in the 7th grade. So if I scroll down, I'm going to choose Chapter 1, and I'm going to copy and paste the text from Chapter 1. And this would be in an instance where you have this is a 7th grade reading class, but you have a child in your class who might still be reading at, say, a 3rd or a 4th grade level. So I'm going to copy this text, start a new Diffit, and I'm going to paste the text. There it is. Oop, text. I'm going to paste the text here. Now, instead of preserving the original text, I'm going to customize my resource for a 4th grade reading level. So it's going to adjust the vocabulary, the syntax, and the structure of the sentences to reflect more of an 8th grade reading level. Then I'm going to click Generate Resources and pause while it does its thing. So there we go, Generate Resources. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. So it has generated this resource. I love that Southwest gets its little plug-in here, but you can search for other images that may or may not have added marketing value to them. And if you don't like the images that you see, you can search for your own image by clicking search or upload and typing in a word that might make sense for that particular excerpt. And maybe this is a better image because you can't see the name of the plane. I don't know. Anyway, scroll down a little bit more. It has taken that excerpt and adapted it to a 4th grade reading level. So it's a little shorter, as I said, and a little bit more easily digested by a younger reader. Summary, keywords, multiple choice, same as all of the other resources generated. And then when you get to the bottom, student activities, you choose, is this going to be a reading strategy exercise, because this is a fictional text, and here are some reading strategies for you to choose from. Export them to Google Slides. Last but not least, I'm going to show you the YouTube video. This YouTube video is a crash course in AI algorithmic bias. I'm going to pause him, copy, and paste the link to the YouTube video into a new Diffit. So I'm going to go to Start New, article or YouTube link. I'm going to paste it. If I preserve the original text, it's going to give me the transcript of the video. I'm going to change the reading level back up to roughly 8th grade and hit Generate Resources. And again, I'm going to pause while it does its thing. Back again. Here we go. This is the image from the video as it sits in YouTube. Here is the transcript of the video. Summary, keywords, just like all of the other ones, multiple choice, short answer, and open-ended prompts. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can get student activities, decide what your students should be doing with the content of this video based on these different strategies and learning, and then you're off and running. So those are the basics of Diffit. What I'd like you to do now is take that 15 or 20 minutes and play with it. See what you can generate. And again, I would really, really appreciate if you use the Google form to jot down that first idea that pops into your head about how you might use Diffit with your students in your grade level and your subject area. And if you are able to create something today, it would be fantastic if you could put it into this folder linked here, so that we have a growing body of resources on AI. Thanks a lot and have a fantastic day.